BlackRock, founded in 1988 by Larry Fink, has taken the world by storm. With a powerful grip on the financial industry, BlackRock has become the owner of most major U.S. banks and pharmaceutical companies, and has even extended its reach to the realm of mainstream media. Its shadowy presence looms large, quietly influencing the very fabric of our society. With their fingers in so many pies, it's no wonder that they oversee roughly 10% of all stocks traded worldwide. And if that isn't enough, they've even started taking over governments. BlackRock has amassed a mind-boggling $10 trillion in assets, which is half of America's total GDP. Their wealth is so massive that even the US and Chinese governments rely on BlackRock to escape recessions. In fact, the founder and CEO of BlackRock is now sitting on the boards of both the influential Council on Foreign Relations and the World Economic Forum. Clearly, company is a force to be reckoned with in the business world. It's mind-blowing to think that company has managed to amass such an incredible amount of power and wealth in just 34 years. What's even more shocking is how most people have never even heard of them. After watching this video, you'll come to understand the real-world consequences of BlackRock's lightning-fast rise to dominance. Back in 1988, BlackRock was just a fledgling investment firm. But it wasn't long before Larry Fink, the mastermind behind the company, started raking in the big bucks. In just 5 years, BlackRock went from being worth a mere $5 million to an astonishing $8 billion. However, success didn't come without its fair share of struggles. A power struggle emerged over who would control the future of company, as Fink wanted to keep his plans for world domination under wraps. In 1995, he pressured co-founder Schwartzman to sell his stake in the company for $250 million, a stake that would now be worth over $12 billion on its own. But despite the gamesmanship, Fink's path to global domination was unstoppable. Over the next decade, he continued to amass power and influence, driven by his insatiable ambition. In 2008, the world was hit by the worst financial crash since the Great Depression, and surprisingly, it was all under Larry Fink's control. Fink had always known that mortgage-backed securities would be the fuse that would ignite the financial crisis, but he also knew that BlackRock's focus on asset management would shield them from the meltdown. In fact, the financial crisis presented an opportunity for Fink and company, and they were the only ones who could fix it. With Fink's personal connections to Timothy Geithner, the Treasury Secretary, BlackRock secured an uncontested contract to manage the assets of multiple banks that crumbled during the crisis. This maneuver allowed Fink to exploit the disaster and become the most powerful man on Wall Street. Company has been gaining significant control over major corporations in recent years. They have purchased stakes in almost every major company on the stock market, making their presence almost ubiquitous in the business world. It's remarkable how much power BlackRock holds over the economy, and their influence is growing by the day. Larry Fink recognized the potential of technology in the future economy and invested heavily in building a supercomputer that could analyze investment opportunities. This massive investment has paid off, as the supercomputer has enabled company to identify profitable investments with incredible accuracy. BlackRock's control over the world is not just limited to the stock market, as they also dominate the media and big tech industry. They own significant stakes in major media companies, including Fox, CBS, and Disney, and are the largest institutional investor in Google, Facebook, Twitter, and Amazon. With this kind of reach, company now controls over 90% of the media, making it a crucial step in their plan to take over the world. They accomplish this through Aladdin, a tool that collects and analyzes vast amounts of personal data from anyone who has ever given them money. With this powerful resource at their disposal, company can now influence not just companies, but governments as well. It's no wonder everyone wants a piece of the pie, given the incredible power BlackRock wields. The current recession has brought many challenges to the housing market, and BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, has been taking advantage of the situation by purchasing as much real estate as possible. As a result, house prices have been skyrocketing, and more people are being forced to rent instead of owning their homes. BlackRock profits by mortgaging off these artificially inflated homes, squeezing even more money out of the economy. However, this situation becomes even more concerning when we consider BlackRock's growing influence and power, especially with its recent access to China's mutual fund industry. With company owning parts of Chinese companies, their influence will inevitably grow, and China's influence will also increase. The extent of companies' investments in China remains unclear, but if their growth over the past year is any indication, China will become an even more significant part of companies' future. This trend could have dire consequences, as BlackRock knows the entire world's bank details, preferences, and tastes, and oversees entire countries. The situation highlights the potential for massive global power shifts, and the impact on the world could be significant. The rise of BlackRock seems to signal a new era in our globalized world, where multinational corporations wield more power than countries. With close ties to government leaders and a massive influence over the World Economic Forum, BlackRock is set to only gain more control over our daily lives. Its position on investment boards means that it can dictate our society and culture, delivering a more generic and mindless world. The company's actions, such as buying up homes and inflating currencies, are dividing us more than ever. Companies' dominance is a monument to a world divided between a few powerful companies and powerless citizens. We're too big to fail companies define life in the 2020s. It seems that we no longer live under free market capitalism, but under a system of socialism for the rich. That's all for today. How will BlackRock's increasing influence and control over various industries and media outlets impact the future of the global economy? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay informed on the latest news and videos. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.